Hello, everybody. It is my great pleasure today to introduce to you a special crew once again. And we have OneGunn here, OneGunn. We have Christina Hall and Mark Jostowitz over here. And we have Robin Duhe right up there. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
How you doing?
Howdy.
So we just had a little pre-broadcast session, and of course we had to wait for the lady in the house for a long, long, long time.
You're in trouble.
She just made it with 2 minutes to spare, so very good, well done. What we always do in this little show is we go through each one of you and talk a bit about your music and your life and stuff, and then at the end we have a little round off. So why don't we start with Christina and Mark? Christina and Mark, you have written a show. It's a rock live performance show. Why don't you please tell everybody a little bit about it, what it's about?
It's called Water Incorporated, and the storyline is the woman who owns the farms above the last clean freshwater aquifer, the man who owns the company that wants the water, and this terrible secret that they share. And with that, we were able to distill the concept of climate change down into a story, into 8 people, on the stage. It's very difficult to do that with a problem so large, but it took a lot of work, and we really nailed it. We really nailed it, and that's what that is.
So it's got 39. Is it 39 or 41 tracks? How many tracks?
It'll be 39 if you just count them like that. A couple of the songs have 2 parts, and there are reprises and stuff like that. So it comes out to around 42 if you count the reprises and stuff.
Yeah, I mastered the whole thing. It was a live show, so I mastered the whole thing for Mark. It was a serious job, 42 tracks, one after the other, pumping them out. So it was a pleasure to actually listen to them all while I was doing that,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun.
So how many times have you been live with the show? How many times did you perform it?
We've played it out 6 times now. Okay. And we're going through the process now of getting it more exposed to the world at large by going after radio and reviews. We've gotten a few of them will be coming in, but I have to be very patient about it, because when you give somebody, I say, could you review this rock opera? This is what it's about. And they look at it and they see all these tracks, they kind of glaze over. So I've got to be really patient with them, because they're really, just by saying that they would, that's a huge commitment.
Well, the show runs, 2 hours and 15?
Yeah, about 2 hours and 15.
So the show runs 2 hours and 15 minutes. So some tracks are shorter than others.
Yeah, for sure. And it's about corporate greed, environment, protection, all stuff like that, yeah? Maybe you can elaborate a little bit.
These things are actually going on. These seizing of water assets by companies. That happens a lot over here. It happens over where you are too. Nestle, for a long time, was basically saying up yours to everybody that pointed it out to them. They were literally stealing water, and then bottling it, selling it to the public without any processing whatsoever. So it's been going on a long time, and as the climate tightens its grip, water is going to be the problem, the lack of it, or the excess of it.
Yeah. Well, we had in Europe, we spoke about this before, we had in Europe and Austria, even parts of Germany, Czechoslovakia,
Poland,
Romania, Poland, the whole, like that Central Eastern area, they had flooding like just never happened before, you don't see this normally in these parts of Europe,
Yeah. We just had a major storm here as well.
Yeah.
A lot of devastation.
Yeah, and we're in India, in places there's really bad over there. In places where it just normally doesn't happen, it now happens quite a lot. And this is probably, I guess, I'm not a scientist, but I guess it's part of the change that's happening.
Yeah, India is a good thing you brought that up, because India gets a double whammy. they get a lot of rain down, on the flatter areas of India, way too much because of the moisture in the atmosphere. But they also have to deal with the melting glaciers from the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And they create these great big bathtubs, I call them, of fresh water that hasn't come down the mountain yet. But then at some point, these things burst out and it sends a wall of water down the mountain. It's kind of like what happened here out west. You've got Chimney Rock, which is gone. We were talking about that before. It's totally gone. And Asheville, which is heavily damaged. It looks like a war zone in there. And all of this is water that came out of the air.
I'm just double checking that you have your life. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on, really. Okay, so what else are you up to in terms of getting that show out there? I mean, obviously it's now on all the digital platforms, so people can stream it, download it, and check it out. We have our friend Greg Cockrell. He's trying to get it into Broadway connections. So anybody out there who is interested in a show like this in your town, in your city, in your local community, you can contact Mark and Christine, and they come and do the show. Maybe we can organize an America tour and get you guys on the road with it. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Our mission is to get people involved to help solve the problem.
Mm.
I think after what's happened in the western chunk of the country, the state here, people are going to become a little more aware of the fact that the potential damage. It is, as I was saying before, they're finding bodies in trees, and they're just there are hundreds of people missing. They've already confirmed over 200 deaths, but as they move the mud and as they dig the cars out and stuff like that number is probably going to go up. And all we're saying with this is get involved. Find a group, find an environmental group, find a climate group, and volunteer. We need everyone.
Yeah. So, Chris, you're the singer, or one of the singers in the show. Mark is keyboarder and composer. Did you write most of the lyrics, or did you between you two? How was the creation process?
I'll let you explain that.
Well, I would say that Mark is the mass producer and I'm the fine tuner.
Okay.
So we both write lyrics. Mark writes music and orchestrations. I write melodies and harmonies. And hammering out the lyrics is usually our biggest challenge. I hear things slightly differently than the way Mark hears things. So we'll toss ideas back and forth until we finally settle on how we want to say what we want to say.
It's really great that you have this creative process between you as a couple. That's really special.
It's really cool. It makes for a lot of laughter too, because we have this thing that, I did it that way last night, but it was better when it was my idea. That whole thing. When we were dating, Chris would be in the kitchen making brunch, and I'd be playing the piano in the living room, and that would happen a lot. I was like, I just played that. Yeah, I just made that up yesterday, but it's my idea now.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's move on to Robin. Robin,
yes.
Good morning. You're 8:30 in the morning in
it's early over here.
California. And where in California are you?
I am in a place called El Sobrante, which is across the bay from San Francisco.
Okay.
So I'm in the East Bay, as they say.
That's interesting. Do you know Billy B. Young?
Billy B. Young.
Yeah, keyboarder, played with a Gap Band many years, played also with Earth, Wind and Fire.
Somebody said he was moving to the Bay Area.
He lives up there now. It's just signed to Wolf Entertainment. We're releasing his instrumental album.
Oh, great.
And so maybe you guys could hook up, because I think you guys would get along really well. I'll see if I can set that up.
Oh, okay.
But please tell everybody what you've been doing. I mean, you've been with me a long time, 10 years or something, 11.
Yeah, it's been a long ride, huh?
Yeah, fantastic.
You got me when I was a little kid.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
so what I've been doing, I come from a pretty big band, Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly. I'm the original bass player. Played on all those hit records. And I was with Frank, I guess, maybe about over 30-something years. And then in 2003, I left the band. I put my first CD out. I guess it was 2004, Duhe. And it was, we were getting a lot of momentum, and bam, and I think my hip went out of me. And so that kind of, I mean, you said you were getting ready to get a hip surgery.
I'm getting one on the 28th of October, thank you.
Yeah, so I got one way back then, and it's kind of slowed my momentum down. And but we got over it and got back up and started gigging again. And then in 2007, 2009, I put out my second CD, which was Life.
Life. Was it after your cancer? Was it after the cancer or before the cancer?
Well, it was after the cancer, because that's what kind of gave me the inspiration. But life gets in the way sometimes, you know what I mean? So I was fortunate. I was stage 3 lymphoma. You know, I was on a sinking. But my doctor, my oncologist, I had a great team around me. You know, between friends, doctors, and just bandmates. I mean, matter of fact, it really humbled me to see all the love that I was getting. And that's what you need when you know you're faced with percentages. Well, you got maybe a 50-50 shot at beating this, you know. But I beat it. It's way behind me now. And then the latest thing I put out, I guess, was about 6 months ago. I put out my third CD, which is called The Journey. And on The Journey, I just wanted to include some of the songs from my past 2 CDs because I didn't think they got enough attention. You know, enough look at. So it's a combination of new stuff and a couple of old songs from back in the day, you know. But it's been doing pretty well, you know. So so just gigging, you know, finding gigs where I can, you know. It's like my guy said, it's hard sometimes to find when you're not playing top 40. You know, the gigs are kind of, and I'm kind of in a limbo state, kind of. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in between the little gigs and the big gigs, and it's hard to do those clubs and stuff like that because most people want to dance and do. I'm not that you can't dance to my music, but they want top 40, and we're doing all covers. We're doing all originals. So we have to find certain venues to do it. I mean, I did some jazz festivals and things like that, but you know, just kind of looking for a booking agent right now. To tell you the truth, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that would be good to find a booking agent, and also. As you know, I'm really looking and bringing you over to Europe because in Europe it's a bit different, I think, than in the States. There's a real jazz scene, and they have jazz clubs where people go to listen to jazz, and they shut up. Actually, they sit down and listen. In the States or in Australia,
it's really great. I mean, I've been over a bunch of times with Maze, and I know they love our music over there. You know, over here it's really, really commercial. You know what I mean? It's really. It's really, if you're not in that circle, then it's a hard time. You know what I mean? Trying to get.
And you have that here as well, but I have over here as well, real cool jazz clubs where people come, and especially when American musicians come, the Europeans still go a bit like this, you know? Because, you know, for all the greats that came from America. And it's a bit like with the basketball players, you know, like the second tier basketball players in the States, they're here in the Bundesliga, the superstars, you know?
No, they're really receptive, you know what I mean? And they have great ears. I mean, they know what they like.
They listen.
They like that real thing. They like the real grit, you know, and a lot of the places over here, it's just, the music seems to be secondary. It's about a video.
Background, entertainment,
And I can dig it. You know, I'm just from a different school, you know. We like to let the music do everything. You know, if the music's not saying what you want to say, then I guess you do have to add a bunch of dancers and a bunch of other things to keep people's attention, you know. But we've always been pretty successful just playing the music, you know, maybe a lights and backdrop or something like that. But that was pretty much it. And then a lot of people are using sequencers, so you really don't get that live. they're in the room and a nice thing. I tried it on my first run. You know what I mean? I had my sequencer was like my little security blanket. You know what I mean? And you take it out. But when you're in this nice, quiet studio and you're trying to program stuff that sounds good in there, but when you get out on stage, it's like it's a whole different vibe, and you're stuck back here with the sequencer. So
yeah.
That didn't last long. I just rather to be wild and free. And jazz is kind of a thing. It's in the moment. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on right now? How do I feel right now playing this song? And that's what's so beautiful about jazz. They call it lightning in a bottle, because it's just how you're feeling that night and playing those songs. So we're still at it. We got some gigs coming up and doing some things, and actually thinking about another project. So I'm looking at getting back in the studio, because my projects have been spaced pretty far apart. It seems like it takes me a long time to go through that process, but I think I found a bunch of guys that's going to help me speed up that process. I like the band. Yeah.
And also, I know I've been talking about this for a while now, but it seems we're coming closer to a position that we actually can do this stuff. I'm looking, and it looks like 90% at a merger with an English label with Wolf Entertainment, where we just going to have more reach, more finances, more possibilities. And really what we want to do actively is do festivals and concerts and tours. So I'm having great hopes for 2025 to really get that off the road. We're just going right now through the paperwork and the lawyers and all of that stuff. So it should be end of the year at the latest, should all be done. And then next year will be with a new energy. I'm thinking, imagine we going on a tour together.
Yeah, I would love that.
We do a 2-day festival every week. Yeah. And in between we travel, maybe do some gigs on the road, and then we do. And the same, we want to do that in Europe, but we also want to do that in Africa. Together with Prince Emeka and the African crew down there. So very, very excited about that, especially that.
Yeah, I know there's really good markets out there. I mean, I'm hearing India is really good market,
India as well. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's just hard to do that stuff because, I come from one of the biggest R&B bands in history, from Maze, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that being said, you have that big machine behind you. We've Warner Brothers, Capitol Records. So you have that big machine helping you push, promote, and all. But when you step away from that and you find yourself trying to utilize the internet, and it's a whole different ballgame, you know what I mean? And
I'm just a little machine, and that's why for me this merger will be interesting, because I'm going to get some backup, basically. Okay, I'm still going to be running Wolf Entertainment. I'm going to still doing all the artist communication. I'm going to do the same what I do now, but with more support, and especially also with more financial support. And then we can do stuff, Then I can say, okay, Robin, you come over. I set the tour up. I pay for it, and we work out that we maybe break even, get all our money back, and the next year we're going to make money on the tour.
Yeah, because it's all about it's about getting over there, getting exposure,
exactly,
and getting around and letting people know that you're here. I mean, I know there's an audience over there for you. You just got to find where your audience is,
Yeah, well, I know all of that, and I've got a great promoter I'm working with in Berlin, Klaus Strocke, and so we just need really the financial injection, and this merger is going to give me the financial ability to say this. I say, okay, I'm going to tour Robin, bang, bang, bang. We put 20 gigs together, and you guys come and we do it, And Marvin, you come and you guys come, and we contact all the community schools or the community centers in Europe that have something to do with the green, and then you come to Europe and perform your show. I think we can do all of this stuff. So I will have some support, because I'll be able to employ some people, so I don't have to do everything by myself. I did the last 14 years, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you've been great, man. I mean, the time I've been with you, it's just been great. You have me on all the digital platforms. I mean, I can just go online and see myself everywhere, which is which is all I can ask from you, man. You've really been a big help.
Thank you. And I paid you on time. You're one of the people who actually make money for me. and every 3 months you get a sales report. If it's over 100 euros or whenever you want it, I send you money. So it's been really
that's the thing. I think as musicians, and it's no downplaying of what you do, it's just the way it's set up, that I think we need to do what the actors do. We need to do something, because that 0.0000.00.9
it's fucked up.
It's really, it's just not. I mean, we spent a lot of time creating this art, this music that lasts forever. And back in the old days, you go into a record store, you put on some headphones and you listen. If you like it, you would get it. Now it's just, they're gone. So it's all about downloads. You don't get any artwork. You don't get any credits. You don't see who's playing on the record. And you don't get really paid for it. I mean, you can get 1 billion downloads and you got $20. You know what I mean? So it's just, we just need to figure that out. I mean, the actors kind of got it together a little bit, but so,
really what's happening is where you can make money is live, getting your stuff into movies, corporate. So there are still some avenues, and there are also some new avenues that we have to catch, like all, TikTok wave and product placement, stuff like that. So we have to get smarter on that. But live is still a very lucrative way to make money,
Yeah, live is where your money is. Selling CDs off the stage. I mean, because I've tried to give CDs to some people, and they say, "Well, I don't even have a CD player no more." They've even taken that away from us.
It's all in the phone now.
Yeah, it's all in the phone. Cars don't even have CD players in it no more. I'm lucky. I got an old car. It has a CD player and a cassette player. So
there you go.
doing cassette way long in the back. I said, I can listen to some of this old stuff. I might find something, you know what I mean? But nowadays, you can't even find a CD player, man. So I don't know. It's like it's rough. Like I say, unless your name is Bowles or Swift or Jay-Z or somebody with that big magnetism volume of people, Prince did a smart thing a while back before he passed. He just said, if you want my music, you got to come to my website and get it. It wasn't
exactly.
But sometimes the problem is that it's not you putting it up. It's like people get it. And because I don't put none of my music. I mean, thank God that you put it up. But even beyond that, people just put your stuff out there. You know what I mean? So it's really no safeguard unless you have some secret code running through your stuff.
That's Prince, different story than, we have 120,000 releases on iTunes and Spotify and so on every day.
Yeah.
120,000.
So what separates you from all those?
How do you get people to listen to it except your friends and your neighbors? So that's why I feel we have a little haven where we actually have a few people that do get when we put stuff out, which allows us to put our head a little bit above all the other 120,000 every day.
Yeah.
And that's going to be part of the expansion, let's say like this, that we have more ability to promote what we're doing, and we have more finances to stick into that. And so more moving into a bigger kind of label, step by step. And, so that's what I really would like to do for everybody and with everybody, especially people like yourself who have been with me a long time,
That's great, man. That's exactly what we need. We need help.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Because it's a lot to do if you're trying to do all this by yourself. I mean, you need a publicist, you need a booking agent, you need people that's going to believe in. It's just a lot of stuff to gather, and if you don't have that, it's just like CDs. You put out music, they just don't seem to catch on like they would if they had somebody really pushing it or a big. A marketing scheme behind it,
So that's my commitment for 2025.
All right, we're going to hold you to that, Wolf.
Please do. And also, I'm going to need everybody's help. I need everybody to push with me, you know? I can't do shit by myself. So everybody push in your own world. And also put the focus on, hey, we're special. We're Wolf Entertainment. We're doing this together. We're moving something special. And like when we did the Wave of Love Festival, you know, suddenly there was a real vibe around what we were doing at Wolf Entertainment. We're pushing love, you know, we're pushing raising awareness, raising consciousness, make the world a better place type thing. And there was an amazing support as well from the artists, because you guys, Marvin was in there, you guys all did it, as well as from a lot of support groups like veterans and, you know, dogs, dog kennels, and all kind of people who vibed with the theme of love.
Yeah,
they came and they supported. So that's what I want to keep hanging this on. And what Mark and Christina are doing, you know, environmental groups that we can promote at the same time as they promote what we are doing. So that's the idea.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. With the world is in turmoil. You know what I mean? It's
crazy.
I mean, I've had people refer to this the last days. You know what I mean? Because if you read the Bible, there's a lot of things that are parallel that's going on now with the Bible. So it's just it's love is definitely what we need right now. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was in the commune. I was living in a commune. I was doing workshops as a therapist, maybe 20 to 80 people per weekend, each weekend somewhere else in Europe. I lived in Holland. And when I left there, I thought, wow, but I want to keep reaching people and spread the word. And I said, no, you got to work it out now so you can do it in the music industry. Because once you really get there, you'll be able to reach a lot more people. So I feel I'm like on the verge 25, 30 years later, not being able to do that. And with the help of everybody, we can do it together, you know?
Yeah, it's all about that reach, you know what I mean? Because I know there's people out there looking for it. You know, they just don't know how to get it now, you know. So it's our job to bring it to them.
Exactly.
Be it whatever type of vehicle, you know. So yeah, I'm right with you, man, with this new push.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Marvin. Marvin, give us your story, please.
Well, that's always my, I shouldn't say issue, but me and Helmet go back and forth. So I am OneGunn, but yeah, I am Marvin as well.
You keep saying, call me OneGunn. Sorry.
In my daily life, I could be up to 3 to 5 people. You just never know. But I'm mostly known for my work with Prince and Paula Abdul. That's right. I'm dating myself right with you guys. I worked with Prince on Kiss, which was actually a song for the group I was in before he got it, called Maserati. And by the time a small group of us finished the song, he took it back, took the bass off. He fought with Warner Brothers, and you know, I'm proud to be part of an amazing hit. And of course, I'm the male vocal on Opposites Attract with Paula Abdul. Worked with her extensively back in the day, and you know, I come from that Prince camp. So
there you go.
You know, speaking to what you said, right? You know, I play with tracks, but man, I love the free flowing style of just freestyle, no tracks, you know, start, break down in the song whenever you want to. I always joke about it. I'm like, you know, at the end of a show, you're either going to be overtime or you're going to be under time. And I got a song that I can play for 2 minutes, and I can play it up to 8 minutes. So you gotta have that in your back pocket for whenever you need it. But you know, at some point in time, I think it's been quite a few years, Helmet, that I joined Wolf Entertainment. It's on his shirt, everyone. So there's the promo right there. He's leaning back so we can get a full view of that chest. There we go. I'm
having some t-shirts made, Wolf Entertainment t-shirts. So they are.
You got to do that. And I'm like, you know, like you said, just to have a label like Wolf Entertainment, keeping your music out there and what you do is amazing. You know, in the late 90s, I took a hiatus from music for about 9 years. I just got so fed up with it. I was with another guy called the Wild Pair. So after we finished with Paula, we were signed by Capitol Records. And right around that time, we were actually, small couple guys. We were called the Wild Pair, just me and one other individual. And we were dropped on Christmas Eve from the label. So I decided to take a hiatus, and it's probably the best thing I ever did, because in that time I met my wife, who I had been running in circles with probably up to 8-9 years earlier and never met her. But she knew everybody from the band I was in, the people that were part of our crew, the bus driver, there was always that house that people went to that we all hung out at. Well, when I wasn't there, she was there. And Chris, you guys are talking about working with your wife. I'm like, yeah, if somebody said this to me years ago, hey, if you got a good relationship, it's a good gig if you can get it. So I'm so happy that right now. So it shook my wife a little bit when she found out I was a musician. Right. But she stayed with me, and now we literally have 5 businesses together now, like you guys talked about. Unless you're some popular musician, you're not going to be running around making millions of dollars a year. So you've got to find other things to keep you afloat so that you can go out and perform your music. You know what I mean? If you're not making it hand over fist, then you gotta, like Elman was saying, you gotta go out and perform. But in the meantime, I just started a podcast called We Are Functioning, and it's based around our family dynamics, which we have someone in the family with schizophrenia. Now, We Are Functioning is all about finding a cure for schizophrenia, whether we do or not. That's going to be our plight. That's our goal. And you can also find us on YouTube and Facebook as well. But we add a little humor to our podcast. So I love doing it. And we try not to make everything sad about the situation, because our situation is humorous. And if you want to find out, check out the podcast. But I also am enjoying, I just released a song. So I wrote the title song for the show. And, why not kill a couple of birds with one stone? It was my most recent release, Hand in Hand with Wolf Entertainment. So it all came together well. And I'm just continuing to write music. I'm into real estate now. I've got a podcast. I've got a tech company. So we really, really, really keep busy.
Cool. Yeah, I just looked, 15th of March, 2019 was the release of Join In. So early 2019, you joined us. That was 5 years now.
Yeah. Well, in my years of performance, at some point in time, like you said, hard to find gigs if you don't have that name, that headliner name. So, or even being on the ticket with the headliner. So I had been checking out, different shows and friends. I stumbled upon a Prince tribute out in Las Vegas, probably the best in the world. And my friend was part of that tribute. He played when this guy performed Prince, he also had Morris Day step in and do some time songs. If you know the time, again, I'm going way back, way back. But if you remember the time, my friend was doing that part of the show with his friend, and it was kind of like almost theater, he would step off, the guy would come in and do Morris Day. Well, when he was done with the show, he said, "Hey man, looking at you, first of all, I didn't know you had grown your hair out to, with locks. So you look like you could do some Bob Marley." And he said, "I'm going to break off from this, and I'm going to do Lenny Kravitz. So let's do a Lenny Kravitz Bob Marley tribute."
You did, yeah. You do.
I'm like, man, hey, let's try it. I'll try anything. So knowing me, when I dedicate myself to something, I'm all in. You know what I mean? I'm in the water up to my knees. So I'm not going to put my head underwater, but I'm in the pool. And it decided to take off on its own. I mean, that's what I've been mostly doing. Also being my alter ego of OneGunn with Wolf Entertainment. So it's been working out pretty well. I love spreading the music of Bob Marley and the meaning of it. That's when I do a performance. It's like, let's say I was just on the ticket in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I was right out there with you guys, or pretty close this summer. And, I'm on a ticket with Michael Jackson and other guys doing Prince. But I always feel that my set it's a teaching moment. I talk about love. I talk about your rights to do what you want to do. Don't let anyone take your rights away from you. I like to go out in the crowd and touch the people, because that's what music is all about. It's you're up there performing and people really want to talk to you no matter who you are. If they like what you do, you know, take the time to stay after your show and get out there as soon as you can, meet and greet the people. And that's the promotion. Like you guys said, you know, we have to perform nowadays to really make money as a musician, but you just have to be out there. And again, that's a great thing about a label like Wolf Entertainment. Now, Helmet can't do everything. So you have to find, you know, PR people and promoters and what that entails is when you perform, it keeps your name at the top of the list. When you're not performing and not doing anything, well, you can sink pretty quick, and sometimes it's hard to get back to the surface. So again, appreciative of if you keep the music out there, Helmet, you know, I'm going to do my best on my part to, you know, perform. And this concert you're talking about, you know, we've been waiting for that for years. I'm not going to say any more about it.
No, you've been talking about years about this. I know. We will do it. We will do it. We're getting close.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Look, at the end of our We Meet, this is, by the way, the last one of a series of 10 for this year. We're going to start again next year. And it's been amazing to have little meetings like this one right now where our artists get to actually know each other, which doesn't happen too often. At the end, I always ask everybody, please give us a message for your friends, your fans, your family, the world, anything and anybody. Please, would you start, Christine?
Well, I will start with artists are society's immune system. That's our tagline. We are storytellers, and we believe that stories are very powerful. And that's why we tell our stories.
Anything else? Is that all you want to say?
And, you know, please help us get our stories out there so we can reach more people and get people motivated to act.
Yeah,
we all need to be involved. Just like with Wolf Entertainment, all that you are doing, you are one man. You're an amazing man, and you've done a ton, but it takes everybody. And we feel the same way about the issues that we write about. And this one is climate change. It's a big one. It's going to take everybody.
Get involved. Find a group, get involved.
Awesome. Anything else, Mark? You want to throw after that?
No, that's pretty much it. Find a group, get involved.
Beautiful. All right. Robin.
Well, I just want to say, you know, times are really kind of on the seesaw right now. So you just got to try and stay on that upside and just, you know, just live your life, be safe. What we do is universal. Music is a universal language. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what language you actually speak, you'll be understand the music. And the music brings love. You know what I mean? Most of the music. I mean, there's some stuff out there they call hard and gangster, but music is love. You know, music can put you in a good mood. It can make you cry, make you laugh. So just go out there and don't be scared to experiment with new artists, to hear, kind of get out of your thing sometimes, that you might find that you like something that you didn't think you would like. So just live your life, be safe, and listen to music, you know, because that's what we do. We're trying to bring love and a little peace and stability to this world, you know what I mean? So just enjoy.
Thank you. Wonderful. OneGunn. You know this.
Well, you know, yes, sir. He's going back and forth. He's letting everybody know who I am fully. But I just wanted to say, and I always say this to you, Helmet, and we've done a lot of interviews together, and I always say that, you know, we're part of the #1 language in the world, which is music. And I always tell people, you take the lyrics out and anybody can understand it. You don't have to translate anything. So when you've got that little bit of time where you're performing and whatever you're doing, a rock opera, you've got that audience's attention, whether it's live or music, what message are you putting out there? What are you saying? So I always say that to people, be careful of what you put out there because it is a reflection of you, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to rap, you rap. If you want to do classical, if you want to do, like, I'm going to keep referring to the rock opera, you guys, I'm waiting to hear that. You can do that, but just be aware of what you put out there. And three things I always say in my show, which is when I play a song called Get Up, Stand Up. And I make people stand up. Okay, I make them stand up for their right to freedom, their right to vote, and their right to simply be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
Now, right here in the U.S. right now, we've got a huge election coming up, and this is what I do. I don't tell people what to do, but I say, you know what? There's people have fought to have the right to vote. So I don't care who you vote for. Just go out there and vote, because you know what the system is hoping? That you don't.
Exactly.
So get out there. Your vote counts. And bottom line is, I sing it all the time. One love, y'all. We just got to come together.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for getting up early and making up and showing up. It's been really nice to hang with everybody. So this was the last of the first 10 We Meet shows, Wolf Entertainment Artists Meet and Share. And we'll probably look in February, March, we'll look when we get started again. But you can see everything on the Wolf Entertainment Facebook channel or on YouTube. And
we are functioning.com, y'all.
That's you guys. We're functioning.com. So thank you very much. And I wish you a great autumn. And the Christmas period is slowly coming in now. And then we're moving into 25. And I have high hope for 25 that we can do great stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
One love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Speak to you all soon. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Nice meeting everybody.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Mother,